Welcome to Monday Jazz and Conversation, presented by a collaboration of 4 nonprofit organizations: Gold Coast Jazz Society, South Florida Jazz, Sunshine Jazz Organization, and the Miami Jazz, dedicated to bringing jazz to South Florida audiences. Each Monday, Wendy Peterson and Nick Yorta feature the music and talk to the country's most talented and interesting jazz musicians.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome John Fedchuk to the hang.
Hi, everybody. Great to be here.
The amazing and beautiful and the world's best person, Brenda Alford.
Hi, Brenda.
Live up to that.
Okay, I got some living to do.
Please welcome to Jazz and Conversation the amazing Joe Donato. Joey D!
Hello.
How are you? I'm so
Good evening,
sad
ladies and
that
gentlemen.
we gave
This
you
is Ralph
stress.
Edwards, and tonight it's Joe Donato. This is your life.
And now, the hosts of Monday Jazz and Conversation, Wendy Peterson and Nick Yorta.
Hello, happy Monday. He's scared to talk now.
I am.
Happy Monday. It's the it's the last Monday of the month.
It is
We're
already.
heading towards May.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy,
It's crazy.
but here we are. Welcome. We're so glad you're joining us tonight. I'm really excited to talk to this super cool, kooky, fantastically awesome chick that chick bonist. That's what I'm going to call her.
Wow.
We got to come up with something. Chick singer. I'm a chick singer. She can be a chick bonist. I don't think she'll take offense because you know what? I don't take offense to chick singer either because I've owned it. I've claimed it.
There you go.
That's right.
Wow. Hear you roar.
There you go. But we're going to be talking to Jennifer Wharton tonight, who is a fantastic low brass specialist from New York City. And she has such an interesting career, and I can't wait to talk about it. And she's just a really fun hang. So we're going to learn, she's got a brand new CD out.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're focusing on
Yes.
tonight.
Called Not a Novelty, and it is available. And we'll talk to her about that. But first, right off the bat, we're going to listen to one of the tracks, and you can kind of get a taste of what you are in for. This is a tune called what?
Bonegasmo.
Okay, I just wanted to hear you say it.
It's fun to say.
Bonegasm's Bonegasmo.
Oh, yeah.
Doggone, that's good.
Yeah. That's, I
Super.
think, Jennifer.
Jennifer. Jennifer Wharton.
That was happening.
Well, anyway, let's bring her right on because we wanted to. I have so many questions.
Oh,
Go.
Here we go.
Yes.
Jennifer Wharton.
Jennifer Wharton. Fantastic, fantastic music.
Hi, thank you for having me.
How you doing?
I'm okay. I had to drive to Jersey today, so that's a thing.
Was this for where you teach?
No, actually, I'm in school right now. I'm getting my master's.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Yeah,
nice.
it was for a performance that's supposed to happen this weekend, and yeah, it's not the first time I've played with people in the pandemic, but it's the first time I've played with those people.
Right. And how did you? So when did you record this CD?
We recorded. Sorry, we recorded at the end of September.
Okay. So before all of this craziness happened.
No. This was in the middle of the. Yeah, this is 2020. Yeah.
Oh.
My goodness.
Yeah,
So
everyone was in the studio except for one of my trombonists and Kurt Elling, which
Oh,
Okay.
So you actually had a booked a studio.
yeah.
It wasn't the whole, everybody from their home.
Yeah, we did in the studio. We did it at Big Orange Sheep in Brooklyn because they had 4 isolation booths, which meant
cool.
that all the rhythm section could be in their own room, safe. And then the 3 trombones that were there, myself, John, my husband, and Alan Ferber, we were all in the room, separated by giant baffles and
Right.
lots of space. It made recording interesting.
Yeah.
I've done a handful of recording sessions this way in the pandemic, and it's usually people with a lot of money that could afford to get all the rapid tests at the time before the
Right.
vaccine happened. But now
Right.
we're all vaccinated, so
Yay.
yeah.
Very good.
I like the whole concept of not a novelty. And I'm assuming, and this is what happens when you assume, but I'm assuming it's because, girl trombone group, like what can you do with a trombone group? It's just a novelty,
I'll drink to that.
Well, wait.
You're totally
I'll
right.
I'll drink to that.
Oh, hey.
Hey! So I want you to know that I got this as a Christmas present. I can't figure out
Oh,
where
I
the
think you can
camera
actually
is.
you can go right up
I got
there.
this as a Christmas present. Not a novelty, Bonegasm coffee mug, limited edition.
Look at that. Look at that. The perfect gift for all occasions, I think.
I mean, the doctors recommend at least 1 Bonegasm a day.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to work on that.
I know. Did we, oh, hey. Hey. My God. I think we briefly touched on this. Let's see what.
Wow.
No. About the how the name came about. But for those new viewers, they might want to know.
The name of the album or the name of the
The
band?
name of the band.
No, it was my YouTube username for a long time. Before you could just sign in with your email address, you had to have a username. And way before I had the band, but when I formed the band and was kind of wondering what we should be called, I didn't want to. I mean, the idea of having my name in it was I could take it or leave it, but Bonegasm had to be
Right.
had to be in there.
Right.
I mean, how could you
yeah.
not?
It's true.
I know.
It is true.
And it has ended up like the production name, Jennifer Wharton's Bonegasm.
Yeah.
Which personalizes it a little bit.
It's so silly.
I'm sorry.
I had a really fun time today. Just trying to do due diligence. I went to your website today just to, to peruse, to see what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I started reading some of your blogs, and they're so good.
Oh,
And
thank you.
Yeah, and you know what I really loved? I loved when, I guess there was one around Christmas time, when you talked about how difficult, the pandemic is for musicians. And, we show up every Monday night, and we're all, laughs, and we try to, make things light and showcase musicians, which is fantastic. But it has been really hard for musicians, because we really did lose, not just our livelihood, because it's more than a livelihood. It's more than making money. It's kind of who we are.
It's our
And,
community.
It is.
that is true. That is true. It's like you don't realize when you cut that off. You can do this Zoom thing and this computer thing, but it really is. It's not the same. It's not absolutely not the same.
Well, and the amount of work that just disappeared. We saw on your bio that you have done a lot of Broadway, both
Yeah.
recordings and performances, and obviously Broadway just completely shut down. And I don't know what the status is now, but your tickets that you had
So
for
I had gotten tickets for March of 2019. No, I think it was 2020, and it was for the Music Man. So it was, and that got, of course, stopped. And then we were supposed to be able to see it in December of this year, and now it's to July of 2022. If it happens, I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta, I mean, that must have been hard anyway, just to get Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster
Right.
to be able to, their schedules together. So I can't, and plus, is the theater open? Is this, is it?
and the amount of people involved, the musicians, stagehands, all the stage production
Yeah.
people, So have you done Broadway? Did you sub Broadway, or did you do the long runs?
So I started off subbing. I started my Broadway career in San Francisco.
Okay.
I did Wicked before it came to Broadway in San Francisco.
Nice.
And then I did a year of Lion King out in San Francisco.
Wow.
And decided I wanted to move back to New York, because I had gone, I'd done a year of my graduate degree here, and I hated it, so I never finished. But I moved back and started subbing on Lion King, started subbing on Wicked, and got called for my own show for the first time in 2007. And that was Curtains, and that was with David Hyde Pierce, and ran for about a year and a
Nice.
half. And then I've done several. The longest one I've done has been Beautiful. I did that for 4.5 years before I left to do King Kong.
No kidding.
And that ran for 6 years, but I did
Yeah.
it for 4.5. And most recently I was on West Side Story, which had just opened a couple weeks
Right.
before the pandemic. So
Yeah.
we hope we're going to go back to work. We don't know. It's one of those shows. Actually, The Music Man is similar. It was funded by the guy that's been in the news for being not cool, Scott Rudin.
Gotcha.
And I never had any direct interaction with the guy. So, but many people are quitting they don't want to have anything to do with him or his name or his money.
Right.
So, there's that. So right now we haven't heard anything from the production company in like a year. So,
So who
everything's
knows?
still up on the theater. I hope I have it. My horns are still in the theater. I never went to
Is
go
that
get them.
true? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I have others, but I never went to go get them. So I hope we go back to work.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. And how did you become a low brass specialist? Like what was the intrigue to you to pick up the trombone?
I wanted to play saxophone, and my sister got mad at me because she played saxophone. So trombone was my second choice. And
Okay.
I ended up with a bass trombone, because I'm mostly a bass trombone player. I ended up with a bass trombone in my hand the second year of me playing, because I missed the day that they did auditions for chairs. So they just handed me the bass trombone. I'm like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah.
And then I quit playing. to be a cheerleader, as one does.
Of course.
And when I started playing again, my high school band director, Orrin Cross III, out in Pittsburgh, California, he's amazing. He handed me the bass trombone, and he handed me a tuba with a fingering chart and said, "Learn this," and I did. And euphonium, I learned euphonium too. And then when I went to junior college, because we didn't have enough money for me to go to a 4-year school, their music program was pretty good, and so that guy made me do all the things.
Right.
And when I finished my degree, my teacher at that time did make me focus on bass trombone, which was good. But then when I got out of school, I was just doing whatever I wanted, so I went back to playing tuba. And I have played euphonium, though I don't own one right now. Don't tell anybody. And I do play tenor trombone. I just don't like it at all.
Okay.
Wow. Now,
It's
how old would you have been when you picked up the bass trombone, and what did it feel like? Just you're a petite person, if I could say.
Oh, I'm not petite. I'm a giant lady. I'm tall. I'm thick. I'm a thick person.
So it felt comfortable.
I didn't really notice because at the time it was just like a trombone with an F attachment, but because of the F attachment is when I say that, if no one knows, it's the extra tubing that goes on. It makes you play lower. I didn't think anything of it because at that age and even up through high school, there are many, many, many women playing all the brass instruments. It's when you get out of high school that changes drastically. So yeah, at the time it didn't feel weird at all.
That's cool.
And you studied early on?
No, I didn't have.
Study?
I had my first lesson my second year of college.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, and to just go on and become,
A badass.
yeah, pretty much.
That's, in fact, I was thinking that maybe badass breast specialist. Maybe we could.
We should have let Rick know that. That would have been good. That would have been good.
We could just add that to the whole thing.
Sure, I like it.
And so you said your sister, she still plays sax?
Oh no, she quit like 2 years
She
later.
did. Oh, okay. Wow. And you just at that point you were dedicated to trombone. It wasn't
Can I just say, aren't you glad you didn't play sax?
Yeah, because I would have, if I had to do Broadway playing sax, you have to play all the other instruments, and you have to buy all the other instruments.
Yeah.
I'm cool with just trombone, it's fine.
Yeah.
So was your family musical? And
Nope.
Your parents as well?
Nope, nobody. And in fact, they did not want me to be a musician at all.
So smart parents, good parents.
Good parents.
Well, they wanted me to have, a stable life, and my dad was a teacher, and my mom worked for the county, but, anything could happen. Like, my mom was forced into retirement early. Just because you have a stable job doesn't mean that, you're
That's
never
true.
going to lose that job.
Yeah.
That is true.
Let's take a look at a couple of photos that we have.
Of early Jennifer.
Very early Jennifer.
I was super cute. I do have to say, I was a cutie patootie.
I think
Definitely.
A lot of people are going to say, what was?
That's right. You're still cute. You're still adorable.
Thank you.
So yeah, the rolled under bangs. I especially. I don't know why you didn't keep that.
Well, you can see from the way I'm smiling, like I looked evil even then. I have an evil smile when I'm up to no good. I was evil even then.
You haven't changed much.
No.
You look it's the same. If you put that hairstyle on now, no one would think twice. All right, look at that.
Oh yeah, yeah. My hot rolled hair. Oh yeah.
That is.
We're talking mid-90s.
Yeah.
Jennifer Wharton. Look at the eyebrows. Thick. My eyebrow game is strong.
Is
The
this
kind
like
of
the
Brooke
Brooke
Shields,
Shields
yeah,
era?
exactly.
Yeah.
But hey, big eyebrows are back. I don't know if you've
Well,
noticed
I
that.
can't get rid of them, so.
Oh, and I'm guessing this is the cheerleader era.
Yeah. Oh, and notice the perm.
Oh, it's hard to see the perm.
That
Let's
was a 91, I believe. 91, yeah.
Oh gosh, it is funny how you can tell by the hairstyles, especially.
That is hysterical. How long were you a cheerleader?
3 years.
Oh,
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah. I've always enjoyed being like a ham.
so you were a popular girl in
I
school?
wouldn't say I was popular, but I think I was, middle of the road. I think people in general liked me, I hope. I'd like to think people generally like me. That's what I tell myself.
Exactly.
That's a nice thought.
Until I hear different.
Yeah.
That's what.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, I want to listen to another track soon, but tell us about the sort of the origin of Bonegasm and the members of the group, because you have a really it seems like you have a really strong rapport with these people and they all contribute.
Yeah. So Bonegasm started, like I said, I had the name. The concept was, when I graduated from my undergrad, I always wanted a trombone quartet, but I didn't think anyone would want to play with me. And it was just like a straight trombone quartet, classical trombone quartet, because that's what I studied. And I never did it. Never did it. And then in 2016, we got asked by our instrument company to do sort of a showcase with 4 trombones and rhythm section for the Gen conference in Louisville. And it was the first time I heard kind of a different side of what a trombone quartet could be, and I really dug it. And that's a testament to the tunes that were written. Paul McKee and my husband John Fedchuk wrote a couple tunes. And and that was in addition to a few other things, that was one of the reasons why I formed this band. And you'll see on the left, that's Nate Mayland. And I've known Nate so long in New York, I don't remember how I met him. But we've been on a zillion things together, played shows together, and he's just one of those people that can do anything. He's pretty incredible. He wrote one tune on the first album called Stellar after his daughter Stella. Then we have Alan Ferber, and he and I are from about 15, 20 miles away from each other in California, but we never met each other out there. We met in New York.
Right.
And I play in his big band, and a tune that he wrote is the reason why I wanted to learn how to improvise. So he's amazing. And he contributed 2 tunes on this record and 1 tune on the first. Behind him is Evan Greger. He's the bass player, and I played with him on a zillion things, and he's just such a calming, grounded, centered dude. He's really good guy to have around, and he can play his butt off. And then that guy with the mustache.
Yes.
My favorite husband, and uber talented musician.
And great straight man.
He is. He's a great straight man.
Yeah.
All those question of the days we did last year.
Insane.
And then in front, that's Mike Eckroth, and he's incredible. And actually, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the name Rachel Eckroth. That's his sister. She's also a pianist. I don't know if she sings, but I know she's a pianist. But they're both pianists, come from musical family, obviously. And he plays with and arranges for Orchestra Akokan, and they've been nominated for a Grammy.
Nice.
And he wrote the tune we just listened to, Bonegasm.
Very
And
cool.
then on the right is our drummer, Don. And I met Don doing Beautiful, the Carole King musical. He would come in and sub. And he's also from California. And I just dug his vibe. And he's really cool and always game for anything.
That's so cool. And so that's been the group from the beginning.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And have you guys toured? I mean, obviously before
Well,
the whole
we
pandemic?
were supposed to go to California for a number of dates last year, and that all got canceled. We have done Stowe Jazz Festival. We did a gig at Penn State, and we are traveling this summer.
I saw on your website
yeah.
that in July you've got what is it? Ohio Jazz Festival?
Iowa Jazz Festival.
Iowa Jazz Festival.
Iowa City Jazz Festival. So we're going to be doing that, and I'm very excited about that. So just trying to get all those ducks in a row for that has been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. Is there a particular... I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask you if there was a particular song you wanted to play next. We'll sort of let you decide. Or we could just...
Well, You know what we could do is play the little video that talks about the band,
Oh,
and
that's a
then
good
go
idea.
right into whatever song she picks.
Oh, look at you. I
How
like
about
it.
that?
Whatever song I pick.
Whatever
The
song you
pressure.
pick.
Well, I would pick Manta Rays, but that would take up 10 minutes of this.
Well, does anyone have anywhere to be?
No, that's true. I mean, I'm fine. I think Manta Rays is a pretty interesting tune. I think people would be surprised by it. So maybe
Okay.
let's do that one.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
All right.
So
Yeah.
let's just take a little look at the behind the scenes of the making of this Not a Novelty.
All right.
In the fall of 2020, during the height of the pandemic, Jennifer Wharton's Bonegasm got together to record their sophomore album, Not a Novelty. Here is their story.
My name is Jennifer Wharton, and I play the bass trombone. So, right before the shutdown, I was awarded a grant by the New York Foundation of the Arts Women's Fund, and it has been crucial to helping us get here. If it hadn't been for that, I would have made that album happen, but probably would have had to wait. And to be honest, if I didn't have this to work on, I would have gone crazy because I lost my entire income. My husband lost his entire income. We're all doing nothing, sitting at home doing nothing. So we're trying to find ways to be more creative. And for me to be able to pay these guys what they're worth, or close to what they're worth, and make music safely has been just it really has helped me through this time to have something to focus on.
I think what I kind of appreciate about it more than anything right now is that it's one of the few bands that we're in this weird time right now, a time where all performance opportunities have ceased, and this band has kind of been kryptonite to it a little bit. It's a time where it's easy to lose motivation, and she's been really good about keeping us active and creative and moving forward. So I think it's been interesting to see how particularly during COVID, how the band has evolved and changed by way of kind of remotely recording things.
We even had like a pre-process since we couldn't really meet a lot to rehearse under the circumstances. We were recording things and sending stuff to each other. So, it was another way to check, what we're doing out, get a closer idea, what the other, members of the band are doing.
I got just MIDI tracks and sort of had to create imaginatively rather than responsively. And then as the tracks built on, everyone played on them. Then you can hear them as a whole. You can go back, kind of respond to it authentically and create a drum part that's less sort of throwing darts in the wind and a little more particular to what you're hearing the composer intended, the music's doing. So it was kind of interesting during this time, as opposed to just rehearsing in one room and going, okay, I can hear everything right away. So it was kind of a slow build.
You get more comfortable with how to blend with the different instruments and how to maybe accompany some of the different soloists, what the kind of vibe and sound is to make 4 trombones sound, like they're featured but supported.
The first album was just pure joy, and it was the first time I'd ever gotten to lead a band, and I wanted it to be fun and just like sunshine in audio form. And this time we're like really digging in, like let's see what this ensemble can do. The idea behind the group is to get more composers to write for the trombone, just realize the beauty of it, because I like to say the trombone is kind of like the fat kid at kickball, always chosen last in ensembles in jazz, unless the leader is a trombone player. So I decided to really, play up the trombone and just have 4 trombones and screw the rest of the big band.
The band has definitely evolved, not only with the music we're playing, which is much more adventurous and intricate, but also in the way the group is playing together, and the personalities in the group are kind of playing off of each other. So there's a nice contrast that we had before, but now it's maybe a little more accentuated.
that was kind of the inspiration. I mean, for this band was to use her as the vehicle, and it's for sure. I think it's found its home finally.
that sounds so good.
That is good.
Thank you. That was written by Carmen Staff. I always say it wrong.
Get it right. It is such a. It's a really great sound. It's so warm and you know, it's not, you know, unlike. I guess I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say, like, you know, whereas four trumpets can be, you know, maybe harsher.
Who wants to hear that?
It's just a warm, really fuzzy, kind of great sound. I really like it. But tight, you know, it's just, it's grooving. I like it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And listen, our people are so on the ball that we actually changed your flyer for you so that we can say badass brass specialist Jennifer Wharton.
For those of you just tuning in, we are having a nice conversation and listening to the music of badass brass specialist Jennifer Wharton. Don't you forget
it.
I love
it's going
it.
on my business card.
I like it. It's yours. You're welcome. So one of the other things that I loved about your website when you were on the cover where you're trying to promote your CD is that you give options of where to buy it. And I just thought this was so cute because, it said, I guess, where is it that you go where you make the most money? You can break it down for us.
Yeah, so I'm honest. Like, if you buy it from me, it's going to be more expensive than other places because I have to do all the legwork. I have to buy the CD, first of all, at my price, and then I have to put it in the envelope, and I have to do the thing and walk it over to the post office. Right. So, but
people, you also get more of a percentage. I mean, you don't have to pay the middleman.
Yeah. So that's the advantage. And people have been really kind. They want to know how I will make the most money, which is super kind. But I'm also a realist. Yes. If someone wants to buy the CD, the best deal is from Bandcamp because you get the download and the CD. And if you do Amazon, it's on Amazon. And then obviously if people want to stream it, all I say is that if you stream it and you like it, please buy it because if you don't, just shittier and shittier music is going to get made because we can't afford to do this all.
Well, I like how you said it because it really made sense. The way you said, if you listen to the whole album, you make 2 cents. The record label makes 2 cents. So
2 cents.
Which so if you're not on if you do it yourself, then it's your label, so you get 2 cents. But if it actually isn't your record label, then that's forget it.
Exactly.
And you were saying it's hard to split 2 cents between 6 people, which I liked a lot. And I did want to say this, if you want to take that off the ticker. We do this, and it's my little spiel every week. We do this every week, and it's like a gig for musicians that haven't had gigs in a really long time. So we ask that if you support our musicians, please support the musicians. We have a tip jar set up, a virtual tip jar. The first $100 will be matched, and all of the money that gets in that tip jar goes directly to Jennifer Wharton at the end of tonight. At the end of the show, you will receive...
that was a surprise. You might have told me that, but I forgot.
Well, it doesn't matter because you're going to get the money. Whatever's in there is all yours. We don't take anything. But it's just so important because like you've been talking about, it's we've all lost our gigs. I mean, there was some seriously, it just the emotion was real when watching your promo video because you really can tell how demoralizing it is to not have to lose this sense of purpose that we have. And the way to make a living and to pay our bills. But anyway, so support our musicians. The first $100 will be matched. All you have to do is text the word tip jar to the number 44321. And some people get confused by it, but the number goes to the number like as if you were texting somebody 44321, and the little message will say tip jar. You immediately get a response back with a very secure link. Rick told me to tell everybody that PayPal is working, or he thinks he fixed PayPal because I guess there were some problems with using PayPal, but supposedly now you can use PayPal. Good. So that's good. So please use PayPal, use a credit card, use whatever you can, but support our musicians because this is a gig. This is a Monday night gig. And it just so happens to be fun, but that doesn't mean it's not work. You had to do your hair and put some makeup on.
I did, and I want you both to feel very excited because I went and got my hair done this morning. Ooh. I haven't had any color on my hair because pandemic. I'm going gray way faster than I should be. And I went and got my hair highlighted this morning.
Nice.
Highlight.
I like it.
It got colored. But it looks pretty good. I think
it does look good.
It was money well spent. And
for sure. Well, I gotta say,
hopefully you'll get it. You'll be able to pay for it after tonight.
that is true. We've had some comments coming in during the playing of
someone said not to beat up on trumpets. I'm sorry. Yes, I love trumpet players.
Yes, that was Bobby Keating. Gary Lindsay's tuned in.
I love Gary. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
The Sand Lions is in the house. So we have we have a great low brass specialist friend of ours
in Orlando,
Will Nestler, who plays with at the Disney company and in the Universal.
I feel like I might have met him. I'm not sure.
Will, did you guys meet? Let us know.
Let us know for sure.
Great player. So tell us about this. This is a recent thing to happen, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Look right on top of the
right
words
on top,
downbeat.
it says Jennifer Wharton's downbeat. I think that's
Yeah, I'll put the apostrophe S on there. Yeah, I was shocked. I got an email asking if I'd do an interview, and I was sure. And
they ask you if you do a centerfold, right?
I know I'm the centerfold. Really, I can't go any higher than this in my musical career, so I might as well
That's
just
awesome.
quit.
No, don't quit.
Please. That is so cool.
But yeah, it is pretty freaking cool. I sent one magazine to my family, and then I sent the other to my high school band director that I mentioned earlier.
Oh,
because
that's awesome.
he was the pretty much the only adult that sort of believed in me at a time when I needed someone to believe in me. And he said, it was just someone saying that I was lamenting. I said, oh, I'm not good enough to be a music major. He's talking about college and everything. And he said, yeah, you are. And that's all I needed. This was one person to say that.
Isn't it funny that there's always that person?
Yeah, so I sent him the magazine and my CD and a postcard that said, this is all your fault.
That's great.
More importantly, though, did you send it to the other people that dissed you back then?
That didn't believe in you?
No. I rarely hold grudges, but there are a few people that I'd love to punch in the teeth. I won't send them this magazine, though.
Were you always confident yourself?
It's funny you say that because I think I'm confident with my humor, I think. But with music, no. I've never been confident with music. I know
John Quicker.
I'm confident sort of in what I do as like a person on Broadway and a person playing fourth trombone in the big band. But
Right.
for me in the band, like I'm confident on the mic, but in terms of my playing, like improvisation, I'm super hard on myself. But I'm trying to get better all the time, and that's all we can do is just keep trying to move forward.
You know what's interesting though? I mean, it could be if anybody wants a good thesis for a doctorate in psychology about how the people's personalities kind of come out in their playing. You know, so I think it's interesting that you say that you like maybe you're not as confident, but you know, to be able to play the bass trombone seems to be, it's like it has to be just like ballsy. Like it just has to be ballsy. It has to be loud, you know, when it needs to be loud, and it just has to be like, you know, and your sound is that. So I just think, I don't know. I think your kind of self-assuredness in your, you know, your humor or whatever comes through in the playing, even though, you know, maybe you doubt. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I feel like people who are kind of shy tend to be tentative in their playing, and people who are just, you know, kind of, you know, aggressive or more aggressive players.
Right.
I don't know.
Well,
Could be hidden.
An
too.
interesting theme, though, is that it seems like most of the musicians, all of the ones that we've ever interviewed, they all do feel just like you do anyway, though.
Oh, there's always.
They never, you know, I think 90% of the people that we've ever talked to say, I cannot listen to myself. You know, when I've recorded something, I don't go back and check it, you know, and it's interesting. It's, you know, it does, and from our perspective, they're like completely solid and they always sound great. But, you know, a guy like Michael Brecker comes to mind.
Yeah.
Not that we interviewed him, but, you know, I did get to meet him and, you know people that knew him very well. And that was always the thing, you know, just like he felt like he was terrible on a night that you would have seen him and he was just flawless. Right. Well, I think that's what makes people get better, right?
Yeah. John, if I have something of his playing, like for instance, where I'm doing my master's right now, the band that the jazz orchestra is playing a concert of his music with him as the guest soloist, kind of keeping it in the family. But I'm listening to some of the section stuff as people send me their audio files, and he has to leave the room when he hears himself playing.
Right. It's fascinating. It's just I don't quite understand that.
Yeah.
But it's
Well, we have another trombonist that weighed in. We've got John Cricker.
Yes, I put
hi,
him up
John.
there.
Oh, you did? Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Here's a lovely picture of you guys, the nuptials.
That's the middle of
Yes.
6th Avenue.
Wow.
And I think it's 43rd Street right there. Or it could be 42nd, I'm not sure.
I guess
great.
all the traffic just swerved around you.
Well, it was Memorial Day, so there wasn't a lot of traffic.
Okay. And
So that's
this,
coming up then.
Yeah, it'll be 11 years.
Wow.
this looks like a Grammy moment.
Yeah, that was at the Grammy nominee reception in 2016.
Right. And I'm bringing. Is this the Taj Mahal?
No, that is, I forget the name of it. It's in Abu Dhabi.
Oh, okay. Were you vacationing or gigging?
I was gigging. I got to sub in Arturo O'Farrell's Afro-Latin Jazz Orchestra, and they did such a neat performance. It was a collaboration with all these Middle Eastern Arab musicians. One was Yaz Ahmed from, where is she from in Europe? I can't remember where she's from. She's a great trumpet player. She does like stuff with loops and stuff. And there was a sitar player, and
That must have been interesting.
really interesting. And there was a guitarist from Kuwait that used to live in New York, but he brought his drum group. There's a very long tradition of pearl divers in Iraq, that drummed. And
Wow.
they were using all these drums that looked like the Puerto Rican drums that were in our percussion section, but they used them differently. It was very, very cool. And seeing how the styles could meld, Arturo would listen to the Kuwaiti drum group play the beat and then tell the percussionist, like, maybe play this with that. And, it was just such a cool experience. And, I mean, to get to see all of that stuff. I never would go there on my own, probably, so.
Right.
Yeah.
We have this question for you.
How did you learn to improvise? You mentioned that there was a song that inspired you to improvise.
Yeah, North Rampart by Alan Farber. I think it was originally a Nonette tune, so it's on his Nonette CD. I can't remember what it's called. The Compass, maybe, on that CD. And then he did an arrangement of that for his big band, which is where I heard it. And it was so beautiful. And it doesn't even have a trombone solo in it on the big band arrangement. But I asked him years ago, before this was ever a thing, I asked him to arrange it for just 4 trombones, no rhythm section. And then as the idea for Bonegasm really formed, I said, could you add rhythm section? And he did. And he changed the key to make it a little bit more trombone friendly. And I've said this 1,000 times to people because I don't think people know how terrified I am to improvise. But when I was coming at it from a place of love of the music, it really changed. It opened up a door for me where I could sort of, really ease into it a little bit more than being under the gun when, it's the last tune of the night in the big band and they're saying, everybody solo. And I'm like,
Right.
Nope, not doing that. And so now I do a lot more of it. I mean, the easiest way to learn how to improvise is to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and someone said to me, well, you know how to improvise already. You know how to make stuff up. You just don't know how to make stuff up that makes sense. You don't know how to play what you hear. And so that's what I guess I'm working towards, and learning tunes and whatever. I don't enjoy higher education. I find that I don't like it as much as I didn't like it the first time. But I feel like it's a way I can really make my band more authentic. I can be a better bandmate. I think I'm a good band leader. I think as a section mate, if I can pull a little bit more weight in the soloing area, I think I'll feel better about the band as well.
Right.
What were your musical influences?
Well, I mean, bass trombone is such a really small world, but Bill Reichenbach, George Flynn, Doug Purviance, Jeff Nelson, well, I'm blanking on his name. Paul Felice. He's the, if you ever hear the, what's the Quincy Jones tune? Ba-do-do-do-do. Ba-do-do-do-do. You know that tune?
Oh,
it's in
isn't
Austin
that-
Powers.
Yeah, that's the something. Oh, I can't remember. Soul
Bossa Nova.
So okay, yeah, there you go.
And he's the bass trombone player on the original.
Oh, okay.
And he was fantastic. George Roberts is another one. He was an LA guy. But it's very small. So I find like my musical, when it comes to improvisation, I actually don't turn to trombone players. I prefer vocalists. Just in terms of style and everything, I prefer things with words. I don't know why. I'm not too hot on bebop, which I apologize to everybody that loves it. It's not for me. I appreciate how its place in history and that I need to know it and I'm learning it, but I don't enjoy it.
Right.
But I like learning all the standards, all the tunes, Gershwin and all that stuff.
Okay.
That's fun.
Right. Do we need our 3D glasses for this picture?
That's from the Abu Dhabi gig.
Is it? Okay.
We played the first night we performed was this gig here at the New York University, NYU Abu Dhabi. They have a campus out there.
Wow.
We stayed there, and that's what the concert series was through. And I forget what tune this was, but they said, "Oh, we're going to go out into the audience." And okay.
Right.
And someone caught this picture, and it was on the front cover of some magazine.
Oh, that's so
It's a
cool.
good picture.
It is.
It's a great picture. I love it.
It is a good picture.
Yeah.
And I'm not familiar with this
That's Slide
gentleman.
Hampton.
Oh, Slide. Okay. Later in life. Clearly,
Yeah.
right? Wow.
Yeah. I got to meet him through my very good friend, Migiwa Miyajima. She's a composer, a Japanese composer and big band leader out here in New York. And she has music available too, so everybody go check that out. She's got some new music on the internets. So, but he loves her, so he came to her gig, and I got to meet him.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah. That's so nice to meet your peers and idols and all that.
Yeah.
Let's listen to another song from the CD. Is there one that you'd like to play? I was thinking either because I was reading up on it. I like the idea of Blue Salt, just because of the story. Or we could do also. I think it's not showing the Little Cupcake. You could talk about the story. And I thought that was just a beautiful tune. I loved that song.
It is really fun. Well, both of them mean a lot to me, both of those people. One is John, who wrote Little Cupcake, and the other is my dear friend, Ayn Inserto. She wrote Blue Salt. So it's up to you.
Okay, let's do Little Cupcake.
Okay.
Is there a story we need to know before?
Oh, yeah. So Little Cupcake, I don't know if you could tell, but I have kind of a crass side. I say things that are not appropriate often.
You've been so well behaved tonight, Jen.
I know, I'm really trying. But whenever I would say something like that in front of other people, John would say, "That's my little cupcake," kind of facetiously. So
of course.
It's tongue in cheek.
Got it. So this is a Little Cupcake.
So
Yeah.
great tune, just a beautiful tune.
That is good. Oh, hold on.
Oh,
I think you're muted.
we gotta
Jennifer.
unmute you.
I said all my best words.
Try to remember.
That's
I
a
was
beautiful
just saying,
song.
John is incredible.
Yes. Yeah. Great player, great improviser, great arranger, great composer. Yeah. He'll do.
He'll do. You done good.
I married up.
What are you looking forward to? As the pandemic seems to be, going in the right direction finally.
It's hard for me to imagine this being over, just because it's going to last a lot longer for musicians than it is most other people.
True.
Even though people are starting to work, a lot of musicians I know are starting to work. I'm kind of not in that group of people that does those types of gigs, like small corporate things. I don't really do that, and that's fine. It's just not in my wheelhouse, but I'm looking forward to feeling like I have a purpose every day and a schedule.
Right.
I've gotten really dumb in COVID. My brain doesn't work. I don't know what day it is. I forget a lot. I've normally really got my ducks in a row, and it's affected me pretty bad. And I know I've read up on all the stuff. It's just the constant stress, especially in the beginning of wondering if you're going to die or if you're going to kill someone you live with.
Right. Yeah.
But the after effects, I hope, will start to dissipate because it's like I said, a lot of gray hair in this.
Yeah. Well, and then you think of it just made me think about this. It's one thing for like trios and duos and quartets and even maybe sextets or something to come up, but big bands, like that's much more difficult because not only you're going to have lots of like audience in the room, but we have to have a big band in the room and
it is difficult. It is.
Yeah. So I'm gonna really be grateful when I forgot that this happened, even if that's for just a minute. It'll be
the
nice.
Lost year.
Yeah.
The lost year and a half.
I mean, I've done a lot, and I think most people that are that I know have been keeping themselves busy. I have done a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would have gone back to school if it hadn't been for the pandemic. I don't know if I ever would have learned how to edit video or learned how to record from home or
do sourdough. Don't forget that.
Yeah. And I've spent so much time with John. We never spent this much time together in our entire marriage.
And you still like him?
Yeah, I do. For the most part.
I gotta say, I found your post amusing too that you recently put up about practicing together, like duets. Her posts are hysterical.
Oh yeah,
not too much fun. You would have thought, oh, here's a thing we can do.
We can do this together.
No. And even and we sort of talk about when I entered. That was a short little snippet of a longer interview I did, kind of talking about the album. I'm trying to interview all the composers, and we talk about how glad he is because at first he was the only person giving me pointers on how to improvise, how to approach improvisation on many of these tunes. And I am a terrible student.
Okay.
And you should never learn how to do something from your spouse. I don't find that is a very successful method of learning something. So he's happy now that I have somebody official to go to. And then he's the jazz consultant now.
Right.
He's not the teacher.
I got it. And you said there's something about a cruise?
Yeah. I saw that you're going to be on the jazz cruise.
The jazz cruise. Yes, I cannot wait. John and I have done it together since before we were married. 2009 was the first one we did, and it's lovely cruise if anyone's interested.
I heard it's almost sold out. I mean, I've heard that it's selling really well.
I would not be surprised. The amount of money you would have to spend to hear all of these artists at once would be astronomical. So this is it's a steal at any price, honestly. And the people are good. I'm sure the COVID precautions are going to be all in place. And I don't know if everyone's going to be required to be vaccinated, but I would imagine there's probably information about that on the website, if not now, later. But yeah, it's a good people run it. Michael Lazaroff took over for his mom that used to run it. And it's really fun. And I cannot wait to go somewhere.
I know.
And that's the early part of next year, right?
Yeah, it should be either January or February. I don't have the dates in my head because everything falls out of my head now.
Right. And it's probably one of those, I'll believe it when I see it.
That's the other thing, you know,
Right.
because it's like such a tease. I think I have a friend that I just saw them, and they were so excited because they were somebody bought them tickets to see James Taylor on July 4th, and you know, like the show that he always does. And then I just saw them the other day. They're like, oh, it got moved to, you know. But then it's like, when it gets to August again, is it going to get moved again, or to October? And then, you know, it's
Right, it's hard to
It's
have
really hard to
certainty.
know.
That's one thing we have not had
yeah.
on any level for quite a few years, certainty.
I feel like there's a really good shot that this will happen, especially because there's sort of rumblings. I've heard nothing official if my show is going back. There's been rumblings that it could be in November, which would be
Really?
only a year and 8 months out of work.
Right.
Right. Oh, that's
And man, that's to talk about it. One of the best shows I can imagine to play on West Side Story. The music is just fantastic, and
Yeah, and it was a really good group of people. So I'm hoping I already know of at least one person that won't be back because of lots of reasons. But I'm hoping the experience will still be the same because it was so much fun and just a treat to be able to perform that music every night with people so passionate about what we were doing. And I hope it's the same. I hope it's hard to say I hope it's the same because nothing will be the same, but I hope it's better.
Right. Yeah.
I hope somehow that life is better after this, because why did we go through all of it?
Right. Yeah, it's hard to imagine.
I feel optimistic. I'm just going to put that out there.
I'm going to try and keep a good thought.
Yeah.
At least one.
Yeah.
At least
right.
Well, I can't promise anymore.
No. But I do see the same things, you know, just venues. First of all, venues that I didn't even think would survive have somehow.
But some have.
And
not,
some have not. But, you know, and there is that movement towards opening up a little bit, you know, in some form or fashion. And a lot of my colleagues, like you have mentioned, many of yours, are starting to do those smaller gigs. And, you know, I'm looking on Facebook now and saying, well, I'll be here next week. That's nice to see after over a year of just virtual things and, you know, and hoping that next month things are going to be different, you know. Finally, at least they're out there playing and feeling a live audience again, which has been surprisingly, you know, something that we've missed.
Yeah.
You take it for granted when it's there every day of your life, you know.
I even miss taking the subway.
Wow, yeah, right?
And that's saying a lot, because that's a dirty, smelly place.
Yeah.
Well, it got pretty cleaned, you know. It got
Right, yeah, it did. Well, you know, I mean,
the
it's
cleanest I've ever seen it. That is true.
Yeah.
It is our makeup. We are social creatures. We are.
Yeah.
You know, and that was something taken away. It's like, you know, the whole prison isolation ward thing. You know, it's a punishment in you know, the crime, you know, legal world.
Yeah.
So it was forced upon us.
I want to say, just to cap it all off, brand new record, Bonegasm, not a novelty.
Not a novelty.
Find it on jenniferwharton.com.
Yeah, I think that would probably be the best place for them to sort of get all the information, right? Because you did.
Yeah, there's you know what? It's just a really fun place to go visit because there's the blog, and she's clever and charming and insightful. Yes, exactly.
All sunshine.
So it is, and plus, you know, you can find out where you're going to be. You can find your records.
Right. So we always say, I'm sure. Before we know it, the calendar of events will be up there.
Listen,
people will be able to follow.
I was just like tooling around, and I found where I could get a good deal on a mute, you know, a trombone mute. So, and
you can never have too many.
Great stocking stuffer.
Exactly. It stuffs something. I know that.
Wait, you want to see something crazy?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
please.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on, I'm putting you in solo mode for this.
Okay, we talked about mutes.
Oh my God! Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
That
Is that
not
for a
real
whale,
thing.
like a spout, and like a whale spout?
It's a tuba mute.
Wow! How have we not seen that? At
I mean,
Will's.
literally no reason why you should. It sounds terrible.
I was gonna ask, like, what would be the purpose of a tuba mute? Is there like
to mute a tuba?
Yeah. But does it like make it like a harmon mute, kind of like for a trumpet?
No, it just makes it sound like a stuffy tuba.
Listen, you know what could be really fun is like a big plunger. You know,
for some reason, I think someone's done or tried that.
Okay,
but
really?
I don't think it was made out of rubber. I think they did like a paper mache.
Oh.
Crazy.
That is funny.
Wow.
I mean, brass players are bored by nature, especially if you're playing orchestral music because you have to count. So I can't imagine that someone hasn't tried to do that.
Like whoa, whatever. I don't know.
Wow.
Oh, that would be exactly.
That is just, it didn't seem you'd have enough room to lift that thing up. So 2 more songs.
Yeah. So I would love to know the story behind Blue Salt.
Blue Salt. Okay. When my very good friend Ayn Inserto, she was meeting John for the first time, when John and I were just dating, we went to a restaurant in Chelsea, and it was called Blue Moon, and they served blue salt margaritas. And we were day drinking, not gonna lie.
Okay.
And I do have, she just sent me the picture of it, because I interviewed her, and I'm going to put it in the interview, which my interviews are on YouTube, if anyone cares. I think it's just youtube.com/Jennifer Wharton. And I'm doing a whole series called Meet the Composers. But we talk about that. And when she actually has written a song about my dogs as well.
Wow.
Which was on her last album called Down a Rabbit Hole. And the tune is called Mr. and Dudley. And my dog Mr. passed away in 2019. Yes, in 2019. But we still have Dudley, so he's hanging out around here. And so she's been just a dear friend. She tends to write a lot of dedications. That are either because people commission them, like this one, or because for some reason the song just reminded her of somebody. So and she's always clever with names. But Blue Salt.
For the margarita. All right, let's listen to it.
Well, who got the last word there?
The last note.
Very nice.
Yeah.
It's so good. So you know, it's funny you were talking about the Abu Dhabi trip as well. I mean, you're clearly like the whole Latin jazz thing, don't you?
I do. I like where I'm from in California, like my hometown. I don't know, California as a whole is like half Spanish speaking people. So, the music was always there, even though I'm not Latin in any way, but the music was always there. We always ended up playing Latin music. Granted, like Latin big band music is one thing. Latin music is another thing, and I don't want to. Sure. I don't want to pretend that they're the same, but I do have a hefty appreciation for it and the culture. Most things in California are influenced by Mexican things, food and music and everything. So I have such an appreciation for their culture and their alcohol.
Yeah, I was gonna say the margaritas
and the avocados. I'm very militant about my avocados. But, which, by the way, much better than a Florida avocado. I don't know what you are doing down there.
Well, we can have that argument, Jen. Oh, we could have that argument.
That'll be for the next show.
But yeah, so the music, I've always felt a connection to it, for whatever that means. And so one of the first tunes that I asked for somebody to arrange for the first album was the first tune off the album. It was called The Year of Two Summers. And this guy, Edward Perez, who I play in his band in Queens here, he wrote it because he spent part of the year in Peru and part of the year in the U.S., so he got to have 2 summers that year. But it's... and this album has 2 Latin tunes on it. It's Bonegasm, the first one, and then we have a tune called La Otra Mano by Manuel Valera, who's another great Cuban composer, and I've played in his band once or twice out here. And I love it. I love it. So want to do more of it.
Sounds great on it.
Yeah, it's amazing. And so the last tune we were talking about playing was the one that has a special guest. And it's your one vocal tune on the record. So why would you pick such a slacker to sing on your record?
The Kurt Elling. One, he's just an awesome human. I don't know if you've ever worked with him or talked to him.
I have not. I've seen him live many times and gotten to take pictures with him after concert and things like that. But I've never really gotten a chance to hang out with him. But I love the way he sings. My God.
Oh, of course. I mean, I'll say this to anyone. John knows I feel this way. Like, his voice makes me want to do bad things. But so through doing the jazz cruise, I met Kurt, and he would sometimes on the cruise be for one night he was the guest vocalist, and so we would work with him, and I got to see what a great musician he was, and just really serious but also super fun. And the stereotypical vocalist can have a bad rap in the world of jazz.
Yes,
but he is not that way at all. He's very much knows everything about his arrangements, knows what he's doing, and it's just something as a musician I really appreciated working with him.
Yeah,
it's very I respect him a lot. So when I saw him doing some videos with the great Charlie Hunter, the zillion string guitar player, during the pandemic, I emailed Kurt and I asked him if he wanted to sing with my band, because there's like 4 freshmen have done it, and the Russell Garcia music, there was 4 trombones with the singer. And so I asked him, and he said yes. And then I asked him what he wanted to do it on, and I wanted to lean sort of left of center. I wanted to have like a very interesting tune, because I saw what he did with Charlie, and it was a way I hadn't heard him sing before. Right. So I was like, well, he's obviously like having fun in the pandemic, trying to do some different stuff. So I mentioned a few things that we would have had to have had arranged.
Right.
But then I said, I do have this Soundgarden tune. And for those of you that don't know, Soundgarden was a band in my youth in the 90s, and grunge, big on the West Coast. I grew up with grunge music.
Yes.
And I've always I loved the album that it one of the tunes, specifically Black Hole Sun. That's one of their very famous tunes. But when I approached Darcy James Argue to arrange it, he said, that's kind of been done. So what about another tune on that album? And we chose The Day I Tried to Live. And the original has me playing the melody and soloing by myself.
Okay.
But when I asked Kurt to do it, he just basically took over the role of me, and then we traded on the solos.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's definitely check it out. This is Kurt Elling singing The Day I Tried to Live.
just like you. One more time around. One more time around.
That's different.
You know what? I love stuff like that. To me, he sounds like he's having so much fun. I was wondering on his solo if maybe he borrowed the
mute.
The mute.
You know, it's funny when I first heard it, I was like, what happened? You know, and I was always imitating a trombone.
Yeah.
You know, it just it was shocking when I first heard it, but
Yeah,
I was like,
it's very
wow,
cool. Very cool.
He's just such a neat guy, man.
So
I just want to give that guy a hug.
You just sent him the tracks and he did it in his own studio or somewhere in Chicago and sent it back to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
So good. So I'm excited for everyone to go check out the record. Go to jenniferwharton.com. You can find out where to get it, along with other really cool stuff.
It's been a freaking pleasure.
Yeah, it has been so much fun. Thank you for giving us your time and yeah, well, I hope to see you in person soon. We're gonna be in your, not necessarily your area, but we have a couple of gigs if they don't fall through in August in Maine. So we're gonna be taking a little road trip. So if we
leave a light on. Shameless.
Where in Maine?
Well, we've got some stuff. It's actually way north. It's in
what's the one place where you see Canada from the other?
Lubec. It's small town. It's small town stuff, but it's so fun. We did this. We've done it. We didn't do it last year, but we've done it a couple years, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Good breweries out there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, indeed.
So
and it's a beautiful part.
If we happen to be in New York, if we're like tooling through, I'm gonna
invite you to lunch.
There you go. We can.
Please do. If you come out to my neighborhood, we have really good Greek food out here.
Oh, that's my mom's side of the family.
Yeah,
Greek. Yeah.
So there you go.
Very good. Yeah.
It's a date.
All right. It's a done deal.
Everybody, thanks so much to Jennifer Wharton.
Thank you, Jennifer.
And we will and send our love, please, to John.
Yes.
I will. I forgot to tell him to pop his head in, but he's probably busy doing, I don't know, making jazz.
Binging something, I'm sure.
All right. You have a fantastic night, and we will talk soon.
Take care.
Right.
Good night.
Oh, you just cut her off.
Oh,
How
I'm sorry.
terrible.
What'd you say? Take care, I think you said?
Take care.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the way it's meant to be said.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun.
Oh.
So thanks so much. Definitely check out her website. It's a lot of fun. Her blog is really a fun read. Kind of gives you a little insight. If you're watching this and you're not a musician, it kind of gives you some insight on just how devastating COVID was to musicians, and if you are, you'll just hear a different perspective. Very interesting stuff. Want to, as always, thank our partners in crime in this adventure of our Monday night jazz and conversation. www.sunshinejazz.org, which is the Sunshine Jazz Organization, the SJO, Sunshine Jazz Organization. They have something coming every Sunday. They have a gig, so let's check it out.
Sunshine Jazz Organization is proud to be presenting world-renowned steel pan maestro Othello Molino at weekly Sunday jazz brunch from noon to 3 p.m. at KC Healthy Cooking, located on a spacious outdoor patio at 1900 Biscayne Boulevard, serving an excellent gourmet Caribbean menu and great jazz, led by Lloyd Hawkins and Ted McDermott. As Alice Day would say, hope to see your face in the place.
You definitely want to check that out. Sunday brunch. Nothing like a good Sunday brunch.
That's right.
Also, our partner, the Gold Coast Jazz Society, and you can check their website out at goldcoastjazz.org. Do we have something for them? Because I
Not
know.
yet.
Oh, okay. Because they have a big concert coming up with Nicole Henry, and I don't have the. If I even had the flyer, I could read it. But definitely go to their website because Nicole Henry, the one and only Nicole Henry, will be performing, and you definitely want to check that out. Also, South Florida Jazz is one of our partners, and they just wrapped up an amazing virtual concert series. So check them out at southfloridajazz.org. And of course, the Miami Jazz Cooperative at miamijazz.org. We thank you once again for hanging out with us on Monday nights. And to let you know what's coming up, next week we have a fun show with Peter and Will Anderson. We have featured them on our Monday night at the Miami Jazz Co-op open stage venues many times, and they're always a huge hit. They're super fun, and I know you're going to enjoy that. Then the following week, we had our big piano.
Yes, the Chick Corea tribute.
Our profusion of pianists, cornucopia, if you will.
Nice.
Thank you. A poo-poo platter. I'm going to keep going now. No, I don't want to do that. But we're going to feature Mike Gerber, and once again, the Gazers have graciously opened their house and the use of their piano. So Mike's going to have an amazing piano. We're going to have a great sound, and so we hope you tune in because we're going to be talking to him. We're going to hopefully see some pictures of him, and he's going to be playing his butt off. So I can't wait for that. And then if that weren't good enough, the following week we are going to talk to guitarist John Hart, and he's got a new CD to promote, and he's going to be playing live. I believe from the Jazzport. We haven't been to the Jazzport in about a month, so that'll be exciting. Yes. It's time, and then we'll let you know what's coming up after that. But I hope you'll tune in because we got, as always, lots of fun things, interesting, and always good music. So thank you so much for watching, and have a great week.
Good night.